Steve here with Table Rock Tea Company. We are in the shop this morning. It's a cold, chilly morning in February. There's frost on the ground, so I'm going to do an inside video, part of our machine series today. I'm going to be showing you some of the features on this machine back here. This is our CS Bell Model 10 stainless steel hammer mill. Now, what's interesting about this is, unfortunately, it is no longer made. CS Bell went out of business last year after 165 years. So we ended up actually getting the last machine out the door. We have two of these machines. But let me show you what they do. We'll take a look over here. Hammer mill is essentially a machine that will reduce particle size on various materials. It's a pretty simple machine, but the design is really super important. So I will kind of go, I guess, from the top and work our way down. So this is a stainless steel chute. You put the material in here in this chute. There's then a safety gate. If you can open this up. So there's a safety gate here. And then if you look down below, there's another safety gate. I'll try to keep it here and see if we can steady it. This safety gate is on a flap, so it's kind of the blowback gate, so that when something material is inside, if it shoots back from the hammers, it's not going to get you. The safety gate, the way that works is you regulate the flow of material by increasing or decreasing the opening in the gate, and that way a certain amount will shoot down and flow into the mill. So after it passes down the chute, it goes into this area that has the hammers. I'll show you those in just a second. There's a safety feature here, a little switch that makes sure that it's locked before it will operate. So to open it, you open it up like that. This thing swings open, and now you have the hammers. We'll take a look. This is the other side of that safety gate up there, you can see. And then you have these hammers. Now, ours are knife edge, so I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, there you go. So you can see right here, there's a knife edge on ours. These need to be sharpened a little bit. That's maybe a better picture of a knife edge, whereas this would be a flat hammer. You can do both. It doesn't really make a whole lot of difference. I like the knife edges for some things and the flats for other things. If you are wanting to do more of a cut on something that's maybe softer material, the knife edges may be better. But if you're looking to do something where like you're breaking something, say like a big hunk of chaga mushroom or something like that, the regular hammers do just fine breaking it in. So these are the hammers. They are independent and set at different angles, and these spin around. And as they spin around, the centrifugal force makes them fly open, and they just keep spinning around like that. They're kind of like a bush hog in a way. If you're familiar with how a bush hog works, is that they're on the hinge, so if they hit anything, instead of being a fixed blade on a spindle, if it hits something that would stop it, it will transfer that down the spindle and basically wreck your motor. But what a hammer mill or a bush hog does is, because that blade's on a hinge, if it hits something, it just sort of folds over and keeps spinning, so it doesn't destroy your motor if you hit an obstacle that's a little too heavy or may need a few different whacks. And so then you see this little U channel that's right here, this semicircle. That's where the screen goes. So this is a screen, and that screen will just fit in like so and slide down like that. So essentially what happens is anything that comes down the chute into the mill continues to get beat up in this chamber until it's small enough to fall through whatever screen you put it. And there are multiple screens over here. You can see we've got a bunch of different screens, different screen sizes, depending on what the material is. And you wouldn't think 1/8 of an inch would make a lot of difference, but it makes a lot of difference. And so We've become quite skilled at milling. We can take things where it's just like either putting something into almost a powder or just knocking the petals off a calendula flower so it looks pretty. So after it drops through the screen here, then it comes down, and this is just a dust sleeve. It's like a skirt, a little rubber skirt, but you put a 5-gallon bucket underneath and that's what catches it. Ours has what we call a VFD, or a variable frequency drive right there, which is really nice because we can change the speed on the mills. We can even change the direction, so we can make it go forward or reverse. I've never really used that so much, but the variable speed is quite important for us. We do tons and tons and tons of different materials in here. We're not just tea, we do all kinds of herbs. People will give us entire sections of plants that we have to mill. And over here, this is my cheat sheet. I won't really zoom in on this because this is proprietary stuff, but all these parameters are different things that we mill, or different types of things that we mill, and they have screen sizes and speeds, because the combination of the screen size and the speed of the machine is what makes your milling precise. So that's something that we are very skilled at, and pardon my hands in there. So we do a lot of milling here. There are very few copacking companies in the US that will do milling. It's very dusty. We have a dust collection system. I'll show you that too. But it's a bit of a pain, and so but that's a lot of our bread and butter work. We do a lot of milling for a lot of clients, and we've really learned the art of doing that. So anyway, that's an overview of the hammer mill. One other cool feature on this one before we go, I'll show you this. I think this is neat. This kind of made us feel like we were in the big leagues, I guess. So if you look on the spec plate and the model number, you'll see that the serial number is actually 478 Table Rock 1018. So that's pretty cool when you've got your own serial number with your company name on it. So anyhow, unfortunately, like I said, this company is out of business. There's really no equivalent to this particular hammer mill. There are some companies that make slightly similar things, but they're almost 3 times as expensive. So anyway,